Now to the latest on breaking news you first saw here on Rush Hour. The disturbing and exclusive video we first showed you yesterday. An Indiana toddler seen waving a loaded handgun in an apartment complex hallway, even pointing the gun at his face. Shocked neighbors calling police. His father arrested, due back in court Thursday after being taken into custody during a live broadcast on Patrol Live hosted by NewsNation's Dan Abrams. Now, correspondent Sloan Glass is here. Sloan, this is another example of just not keeping guns out of the hands of kids.
Yeah, another tragic example, Nichole. It does not seem real, a toddler waving a gun like it's a toy, but it is very real. And according to the Gifford Law Center, 4.6 million minors in the U.S. live in homes with at least one loaded, unlocked firearm. During Saturday night's edition of On Patrol Live, hosted by NewsNation's Dan Abrams, you can see the toddler waving a loaded handgun and pulling the trigger.
Hello, Beach Grove Police!
Police body cam shows that same child opening the door in his diaper when police knocked. The little boy's father, Shane Osborne, was home and reportedly told officers he was in bed all day sick. He claimed he does not even own a gun, but the neighbor's doorbell video told a different story.
He pointed it at me and said, "Look what I got."
He had a gun.
Producers of the show say at one point, the child even pointed the gun at himself and pulled the trigger. While no rounds were in the gun's chamber, there were 15 rounds loaded in the magazine.
The likelihood that a 4-year-old would be able to work the slide and chamber around is pretty slight.
Just last week, a 6-year-old brought a gun from home to school and shot his teacher. While up to 90% of guns used by minors in suicides, unintentional shootings, and school shootings are found in the child's home or the home of a relative. Just 33 states and D.C. have child access prevention laws.
In the case of this 4-year-old who got a hold of a gun, would have taken, an hour to go down to a store, buy a safe and put it in, or a couple of minutes to use the gun lock that was supplied with it.
In general, CAP laws put the liability on a gun owner after they have failed to keep a gun inaccessible to a minor. But the severity can vary. The strongest CAP laws hold people accountable for storing a gun in a manner that makes it likely a minor could access it, regardless of whether the minor does access or use the firearm. Only 9 states impose criminal liability if a child uses or possesses the firearm.
So if you can solve a problem in a few minutes that, if unsolved, would create a tragedy that would last the rest of your life, this safe now thinks that I was trying to access it, and it's ringing. So that would mean notifying me if somebody was trying to gain access to the safe that wasn't authorized to use it.
There are no federal child access prevention or safe storage laws in place. The NRA encourages gun owners to safely store firearms so they are inaccessible to unauthorized users, but do not support CAP laws that they say infringe on parental rights and the rights to keep and bear arms or limit when a child can possess a gun. Nichole.
Yeah, that video is so hard to watch. Thank you, Sloan. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.